How's it going, everybody? It's Man Tomorrow here. Thank you guys for coming through. Hit a one in the chat if you could be able to hear me. All right, all right. Very clearly, very clearly. All right. So I'll give people a minute to come in here so that way we can get started. So let's give people a couple moments to get in. Make sure you like the video upon coming in. So we'll come back in a minute and get this thing started. All right, let's get this thing started here. All right, I want to thank you guys for coming through on this Father's Day special. I wasn't gonna have it before, but it's been a while since I went live on these type of topics. I want to thank you guys for coming through. You have to realize that uh, the contrary belief, masculinity is actually under attack by failed men, not the women. All these relationship shows and topics and all that kind of stuff, it haven't given men anything. Manosphere talking points have not given men anything except for a bunch of dudes to hang out with who don't even have good outcomes. Yeah, he knew he had it coming. Yes, he did. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. So, today in this Father's Day special, we're going to go over the what's a good foundation, what's good leadership, how they actually work together, the generational impact, modern challenges to legacy, celebrating the unsung heroes, the role of faith, community, and culture. Yes, as an atheist, I'm going to talk about that. The son's responsibility, and then we're going to close it up. Drop the link. See who wants to actually come up. If I know you, you can come up. If I don't know you, you can hit me by email. Yeah, well, we don't allow new people to come up, so you have to be able to be around for a while before you just drop in. So first and foremost, I want to tell everybody Happy Father's Day, everybody. As you know, my father died very young in the early 90s. My grandfather died a year after that, maybe a year and a half. It was definitely a year. Maybe, no, a year and 3 months after that. And I had a lot of help after that, obviously. But that help came with having a good foundation. For me, having a good foundation and already respecting leadership and not being up to a whole bunch of nonsense, that stuff really helped me a lot. It helped me a lot when I was in the military. It helped me a lot everywhere. Because at the end of the day, A lot of people think that they need all of this help and all of this assistance when the only thing they need, because all the answers are out there. You can't mean to tell me that there's not a better group of everything out there for you to actually look at. There is a lot of things out there already. You don't even need that much help. Because if you can't manage an internet connection, it's quite the likelihood that you can't be able to manage much more after that. And that people think that real oppression is actually waiting on everybody else to do the work, while you sit here, hang out, and support all this other nonsense that is actually out here. And that's just clearly not how any of this stuff works. So let's get on with this presentation here. All right. So what you have to understand is, man, um, there's no real need to be keeping up hood culture in 2025. There is no real need for that. And if your only foray into masculinity is pretending that you are suffering no consequences from dealing with these things out here, then you've clearly come to the wrong place. I mean, but what people don't understand, man, that a good foundation isn't flashy. It's not loud. It's not always praised in public. But it's what everything else is built on. Without it, the best intentions collapse. So, what does a good foundation look like? The first thing is start with values. A man, my father and grandfather, who teaches his children right from wrong, not just through lectures, not just through what he believes and how he lives. It's about the expectations. Because a lot of people have all these standards for themselves, but they don't have these standards for everybody else around them. The women that they deal with, the personal associations that they have, the people that they bring around their kids, the type of career field that they actually place themselves in. All of this stuff is still with the value system. And also, a good foundation also starts with identity. There's two types of character development. There is the expectation laid down by the people who came to you path, and then there's to figure it out on your own path. We know what to figure it out on your own path leads to. It leads to exactly what we have here. The figure it out on your own path of identity allows you to be as free as you want to, and then you think that you're going to actually add principle after that. Like you're going to leap to the actual highest forms of society, and then you're going to put principle last. And that's just not how any of this stuff works. It has never worked like that. And then you have like the expectation path that's laid down by the actual adults before you. I'm sick of hearing all these people talk about how they had good grandparents and good uncles and good fathers and good all this stuff. But when it comes to the associations online, it's always a bunch of nonsense. And rather than try to fix society, they are happy with the way things are. These people who was raised by so-called all these people with good values. But all this stuff could have been solved if the children clearly knew who they were, who they was before them, the history that brought them to this point right here, of where we are at right now. A father who tells his children that you are worthy, you come from strength, you don't have to pretend to be anybody else, especially not hip hop artists. That man, when he's talking to that child, he's building something so that way the actual kids can actually weather the actual things that is around them. Like me, I was taken out into the actual country, taught about how all of these very lively examples of people who are actually bad. There was a foundation there showing you that you can still do everything that is expected of you when surrounded by nothing. So when they took us back around the so-called city and we were surrounded by gang violence and all this kind of other stuff, none of that stuff really affected us. Why? We had a good foundation. A good foundation will always keep you out of all that other stuff. Mother, father, grandfather, they never allowed these people to come around. They never allowed these people to come around. They never allowed these people to throw their money in people's faces. They never allowed for any of that because you had the character piece that went before anything else. You couldn't just hang out around us, right? They had to know who you were. They had to know who your parents were. They had to talk to your parents about things. All of that. There was a lot of things in place before you just showed up coming around. Because my father was a over the road truck driver. My actual grandfather was a World War II vet and a you know partially sharecropper or whatever. He bought his land eventually. Built the whole city on one leg. Where he was consistently building houses, even though that he couldn't get an actual loan for one for a long time until the 70s is when he was able to get a loan. And this person served in World War II. Denied his actual GI Bill and all this kind of other stuff. But then again, he did not use that as a means of not providing progress for himself, not laying out things that his kids should be doing. All of my uncles and aunts, that includes the silent generation aunts and uncles and the boomer aunt and uncle one. They were all taught carpentry, they were all taught roofing, was all taught a whole bunch of things. Yes, they was all very athletic, they was all very good in school, all that stuff. All that stuff that people claim that they wasn't raised around, they was good at all that stuff. And guess what happened once they left town? Some people stayed with it, others peoples didn't. As soon as they got around other people, they started picking up all these other values. Even though they had a good foundation. Even though most of my aunts and uncles were either military, one person was military, one person was a nurse, or one person was working for a union. And that was the actual household makeup for everyone. Most of their kids had incredibly bad outcomes. And it wasn't because that they did not have a good foundation. They clearly did. It's just that once they got around other personnel, they decided to pick up values that they clearly was never going to be able to hold down for a grand period of time. Because all of those people in that situation, they've never seen the end of it where those people were actually successful with those values, those drug dealer values, those hip hop values. They've never seen it to where it actually went to the end point to where it was actually a good thing. But they picked it up anyway. We're talking about people who went from having cars when they was 14, 15 years old. People who never skipped a meal. People who had plenty to eat. People who had plenty of money around. But they decided and chose to spend their life around other types of people who respect none of that. They looked at working class people to which they were a product of as something that was way too hard. This foundation, this having values and staying out of nonsense, it's way too hard. I want to do all this fun stuff and I want to actually try to recover from it. And then that's where I'm going to actually stake my claim as a man, or as a woman is recovering from things that I never should have been in the first place. Just because you come from good stock, that does not mean that you're going to have good outcomes. Now that we talked about the foundation, let's get into the leadership piece. That's where your actual foundation goes to the next level. The people who you hang out with, the people who you look up to, the people who you actually want to be around. Yeah, there was plenty of people in those communities that had no business having that access and level to kids because all the people were at work. And once those people went to work, those people left in the community. That's where you seen where the foundation took hold. After those people went to work. I've seen many people come to the neighborhood having the best of dress, the best of everything. Just wanted to hang out with hood personnel for no reason. Their struggle was actually synthetic. They wanted struggle to be a part of their brand and DNA when they didn't have that. They had to come down to the actual South Side to be poor. They actually had to come down and sell drugs for sport. They actually had to pretend like they were struggling when they had the best of all type of name brand stuff. It was called J. Charles. Yeah, the struggle was synthetic. Like they already passed all of this stuff, and they still wanted it to be real enough to them. They stopped their own family's progress in 18 or 19 years just to hang out with people with no vision, no accountability, even though they had plenty of empowerment. We talk about people who had connections built up. They could have easily got a job, easily, because in that small ass city, if you don't know anybody, you can forget about filling out an application anywhere. If they don't know you, they don't hire you. If they can't say this is XYZ person's son, they have no time to be wasting time on untested liabilities. The way it was down there, it should be a clear line and path from your associations to your actual friend group to your actual grades. Like all that stuff came into actual play. So let's talk about when it actually comes together. It comes together because down there you can't make a whole lot of mistakes on anything, especially as a small business person. You barely have people who want to pay on time. And the banks wasn't going to give you any loans for expanding your actual operation. So when you messed up something, you messed up a lot for a lot of people. That's why they wanted all of these things in place. So that way it would be easier for you to work as a team. Now, a lot of people's idea of being on the team is being the most incompetent person on the team and somehow with no experience get to lead the team. And no matter what it is in leadership that is actually handed to them, they actually destroy. Then they look for somebody else to blame because that's what the environment teaches them. They teach them to lie, cheat, and steal to get in charge. And the moment something goes wrong, you walk away from it like it's not even your responsibility in the first place and find somebody else to blame. Let them fix it, rinse, repeat. This is why these things kind of flowed into one another because people didn't have time for those type of games down there. However, as the years went on, most of the actual people with principal left, those people were actually replaced with a whole bunch of people who didn't really care. Not their fault, but a lot of these actual factories went overseas or shut down or went to Mexico. And a lot of these people who clearly had upward mobility to leave decided to give up. I mean, the next part is the generational impact. I used to remember when there was a whole bunch of factories in the actual city. A friend of mine was telling me 2 days ago about the actual population size in the actual Delta, how there was so many jobs, and then the 90s came, and then everything left. Now, when everything left, you were actually supposed to move to another city. Like most of my family left the actual South in the 80s. They went to the Chicago's, they went to Louisville, they went to Nashville, they went to Memphis, they went to Dallas, they went to Atlanta, they went to Chicago, they went to Kansas City. A lot of them ended up in New York, especially like the Grammy award winning like musicians and all that, the actors and kind of all that kind of stuff. And then the people who surpassed all that, they moved way out west to Seattle. So when the jobs left, you were supposed to actually leave that area as well because you could do a lot on one income in the 80s, especially down there. But you could not do a lot once those jobs left the area. Jobs left the areas, the crime went through the actual roof. People were stealing everything not tied down. You had a huge drug problem kind of everywhere. Kind of the same thing you're seeing in rural America right now. And yeah, the generational impact. I mean, there was a lot. Like the best deterrent to an actual crime is a job. And what happens when all the jobs leave and the people don't leave the city and try to seek other things? They ran everybody out of the community that actually made any type of money, regardless of where they was in the city. So that was the generational impact of people actually leaving, and then more and more of these lost dudes who actually were clearly past their prime. They wanted to be leadership among youth, and the only thing they could do to the youth is turn them into actually gang members or worse. People keep thinking that there's some type of modern challenge to legacy. I don't think that there is a modern challenge to legacy. I think that with so many people that you cannot deal with today, it is literally easy to miss and dodge all of these pitfalls. Now, most of the people who want the title of masculinity today have already failed at that. Had a kid with the wrong person, still trying to mess with the wrong type of women, trying to base your masculinity simultaneously on complaining about those same women and then restricting yourself to those same women. Period. Acting like having any character is something that you can add later on. When actually most of these people are just okay with the way things are, women included. They're okay with that. But at the end of the day, you're failing in society is your problem. You become a bottom feeder in society is your problem. You're not able to figure it out and actually compete in society is your problem. Yours alone. And it doesn't matter how many people that you damage trying to maintain the idea and illusion that things are fine within this society. That's on you. That's on you. It's not on anybody else. Because to most of these people, bragging on sexual access is okay. Bragging on how you recovered from suboptimal circumstances is okay. But once you run across these dumb motherfuckers, you throw it in their face that you're seven figures and that you don't need your help and you're restricted to the dumbass fucking women that they fucking restricted to. You should be proud to saw a motherfucker's head off whenever they display that bitch ass nigga to you. You should be proud to let them know that they are expired. You should be proud to let them know that they don't have a place here. You should be proud to do that. Proud. You should be honored to let this person know that the society that they actually want to be a part of no longer exists. You should be proud to let them know that they don't belong here. Then you watch the women who actually try to come to the defense in any shape, form, or fashion to the person who you're trying to remove from society. That society. That's why I say it's really not that hard. What's going on, check it for you? That's why I say it's really not that hard to stay away from bad outcomes. Not today. It's really not hard to get your stuff together, even if you don't have any skills. It's really not that hard. And even once you do get your stuff together, you have to create that next new different group. You have to create that group. Look, every single movement built by man is going to be destroyed the same way the manosphere is. You're going to have the hip hop dudes and the entertainment crew come in, steal the intellectual property of the space, try to remake the space in their own dumbass image, and try to pretend like there's no history here. Just so that way they can pretend like they're the best, biggest, best homeboys to another group of lost ass men. It's always going to happen. It's always going to happen. The people complaining about the space, who do they hang around? You can't clearly complain about the outcomes of the actual manosphere, but you're a Kevin Samuels guy. You can't. You can't be LER movement talking about the anti-black manosphere when motherfucker you hang out with all the motherfuckers who are anti-black manosphere. You do nothing but dumb nigga content. Expectation of dumb nigga content. You don't try to create no different group. You try to team up with the same dumbass motherfuckers who messed up the previous group. It's not hard. It's really simple to actually create things that are better. You just have to leave all the old stuff alone. But guess what happens when you have bad outcomes? You don't want to see nobody else prosper in a different situation. So this is my actual point of actually doing this Father's Day special. The unsung heroes throughout the generation. And I'm not sure how many times I talked about this or talk about my military service at all, but I seen how Vietnam era vets who was on the back end of their actual enlistment, 25 to 30 years. And then I seen the professional military, like the professional class of people that you would normally see in corporate America. Now, when those people were around, I'm talking about the actual Vietnam era people, the people who were chief master sergeants or senior master sergeants, they allowed them to stay in for 30 years. I went in 96. So I'm talking about people who went in and definitely got out before like the year 2000. Maybe 2001, maybe 2002 was when they left. It was a very different military. Very different leadership. Everybody watched each other's backs. Nobody tried to turn each other in. No one tried to screw each other over. There was no corporate America class of the actual military, right? And then those people started leaving, and the new era and crop of individuals started coming in. These individuals who was taught the tricks of the trade, how to make sure that everything worked, and then boom, they started burning people for the same thing that they used to do, and pretend like it wasn't set up that way before. You had individuals turning in their own roommates for DUIs, stopping them at the gate. When the normal procedure was, you call somebody over. If anybody is you think is over the limit, you don't test them. You just have them park their vehicle in the overflow lot, and it's either you tell them to walk to their dorms, which is not wasn't that far away from the base gate, or you call somebody to have pick them up at the gate to take them to their dorm room or whatever. The professional military was trying to turn those people into reputation. They was trying to turn those people into everything. It was all about dog eat dog, and it's like, dude, there. And here's the thing about like the good sergeants versus the bad ones. It's not totally mutually exclusive, but it's almost mutually exclusive. You can either have amazing troops, but you can't have amazing kids and amazing troops. There were some that pulled it off, but there was a lot of people who didn't. Like the professional military dudes, they had amazing kids. They were just incredibly bad supervisors at work. They had incredibly good kids, but they wanted to grind up and destroy anybody in their way in order to make that actual promotion. They never tried to help nobody. They never really wrote performance reports for anybody. They never told people how to make the highest of the actual rank when it came to the actual performance report. Nothing. They did nothing for nobody. The only thing they did was came to work, kissed a lot of ass, burned a lot of people, and got their stuff straight. They did not try to hand that stuff down to anybody else. If you've ever been in IT and you have a person in IT who don't want to mentor anybody, who don't want to give up no information, who don't want to teach anybody how to do anything, that's exactly how the military was right before 9/11. It turned into a professional corporate America based military. But back to those good leaders. Those good leaders were just in bad circumstances. So they had no choice but to pour everything and all their time into making sure that their troops were better. Man, I used to take good leadership for granted, especially older good leadership for granted. Because, I went from father to grandfather to decent coaches. I had two of the best supervisors I've ever had in any capacity starting off in the military. Then I ran into the professional bullshit artists. And it felt like the end of the world. One bad performance report can stop your ass from getting promoted for 5 years. That's how the Air Force is. It's incredibly hard to make rank in the Air Force. Say it again. Say it again. Because a lot of good people got out of the military because of a bad performance report. It was going to be harder for them to get it. It was the same for me. I was in for 5.5 years. Normal pin on rank for a staff sergeant, especially as a cop, is 5.5 to 6 years. Unless you went below the zone, you pinned on E4 early. Me, I came in with no stripes, so I had to wait all the way 3 years to pin on my E4. I tested for actual NCO. I made it the second time because I had to get a feel of the test the first time. Because, I didn't have like that hand down system of how the actual system works, even though most of the people who got promoted who was like a year or 2 years before me, they clearly had that, but they didn't want to hand that information down because they didn't want no competition and they wanted to be the only NCOs. So once I did get that down the second time, so this would have been my beginning of my fourth year in, is when I passed the second time. And when you're in the Air Force, you get a line number because if you've been in the least amount of time, you have to wait to pin on your rank after most people who have time and grade and time and service above you. Sometimes you could be waiting 2 or 3 years to pin on rank. 2 or 3 years to pin on rank. Me, it was a year and a half. A year and a half from when I got the results back. Because you test and then you get the results back 4 months later, and then I got a line number. It was a year and a half after that, so I would have been damn near beyond 5.5 years to pin on staff sergeant. And I wasn't trying to be in law enforcement beyond that. No, I'm leaving. But a lot of people got out under those circumstances because they told you to come in. I went into a bad career field. That was my fault, by the way, no one else's. And I thought I was just going to be able to cross train into another career field like the recruiter told me. That's not the case. Because normally they don't let cops transfer into other career fields because we just destroy it. Any other career field that we're in, beyond being a cop, we just destroy it. We be super good at everything after getting out of those horrific circumstances. And most of your commanders don't want to let you out of being an actual cop because they can't move. And if they can't move, why on earth would they want you moving? So they have that type of power to make sure that your ass is restricted and you can go on to being a civilian and something else. You can get paid and do other things. But those actual sergeants, most of them are dead, by the way, especially the ones that were extremely good to me. Once I took that year off, once I got my stuff really together, I took that year off and I started looking all these people up. Man, a lot of these people didn't have good outcomes, especially the decent sergeants. They did not have good outcomes. Not in their personal life. Their troops were straight. Like, good leadership is legendary. Once you go to another base, they'll tell you, stay away from this person, stay away from that person, try to get from under this person and that person. This person's super cool. Do everything that this person says. And that's some of that unsung hero stuff that people don't see about how the standards get upkept. And people give you like that that heads up before stuff come down the rack and how to deal with people. Because in the military they don't teach you how to deal with people. They just have you sit there and put up with a whole bunch of nonsense that you don't need to be dealing with. And your supervisor can actually dictate a lot about how far you go in the military. Period. All right, let's talk about this next thing about the role of faith, community, and actual culture. I was actually part of the Baptist church when I was actually in the actual Air Force for, I think, like maybe 3 years of my enlistment, especially when I was in Germany. I was part of the Baptist church, and there was a lot of strange things that was going on in the actual Baptist church, even for a military side of things. And once you started to go up in the quote unquote rank of the actual church by being on base longer than other people, you started to see that stuff. And it was clearly no different than what it was in the regular church outside of that, where protecting personnel who clearly didn't need to be protected was the mainstay of the operation. I thought this thing was about saving souls and all this stuff. Like, no, 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 no. This stuff was about protecting F boys who attach themselves to be part of the church to get access to women. And that seems to be the majority of just cleaning out all that stuff. That is correct. From the hardest to the easiest. That is correct. That order is correct. So if you ever see an Army person stunting on you about how quickly that they made E5 in 3 years, yeah, yeah, that's because you can get your stripes taken and you can get your stripes back within 9 months to a year, maybe a year and a half. You lose stripes or you get a non-judicial punishment in the Air Force or the Navy, you're screwed for the next 5 years. The Marines and the Navy, no, no, I'm sorry, the Marines and the Army, dude, they just fly through rank until you get to E6, that is. And then they kind of require stuff for you to go from E6 to E9. That's how it is in the Marines and in the Army. Anybody can make it to E6. Dude, you can make it to E6 probably in 4 years in the Army and the Marines. It's doable, but it's not doable in the Air Force nor the Navy. So that's what the culture was. I mean, like the culture of leadership was just clearly different. Like once you got there, like you think that these things are about one thing, but it's all about protecting power. And it's just so disheartening for people who go there and waste their time there in these type of circumstances. But I actually had to leave the church because I did not know how to evaluate personnel beyond the rank structure. Remember, I went in when I was 17 years old. This is all I literally knew for work was military. So that's how it was there. And these things could have been clearly different, but when you have personnel, they always go toward the power piece. They always put all these things in the way so that way things don't work properly. They join organizations just so that way they can sabotage how it works. And so that way it won't serve others. But then again, I got spoiled with good leadership, spoiled with decent sergeants, spoiled with decent human beings, spoiled with older human beings who cared about the actual outcome and the results. Way before I got access to these corporate American military people. And once I started seeing them there, I just started seeing them everywhere. I was able to see through this stuff and evaluate it and navigate it, which people didn't actually teach you how to do because you didn't have to do that when the people who actually gave a damn about outcomes were around. But once you was kind of isolated on that island and no one taught you how to navigate things, that's when things became very hard for people to actually stay in as a long-term actual career field choice. Because let me tell you, if a person been in corporate America before they actually been in the military and they're very unscrupulous about how they act toward others, they make it very far in those circumstances. Because most decent people don't have the actual lack of character to do a lot of the things that those professional military people would do, even though they was quote unquote successful at it. So let's talk about the son's responsibility. I mean, to me, it was laid out to me what I was supposed to do. It was laid out to me that I was not supposed to hang around these type of circumstances. It was very clear to me that I had responsibilities. It was very clear to me that I was not to repeat these mistakes of yesteryear. It was very clear. I've seen people had to change their names, got kicked out of the city. I've seen all that. And it was very specifically told to me that I need to be the hell up out of this city by the time I graduate high school. And they didn't mean go to college. They mean go to an actual trade school or go to the actual military. Do not waste time there. You won't live another summer. Not down there. Not with nothing else to do. Not with the people who went to Delta Community College, Jackson State, Alcorn, Mississippi Valley. These are the people who's all working at Walmart and Fred's and Sears and TJ Maxx and managing the Hardee's and Burger Kings and McDonald's, and that's what it was there. There was literally nothing there and nothing to pretty much make it from. That expectation was handed down. Whatever it is that you're going to be doing, here ain't where you started. I know people who never left, and I mean ever left, and they just as stuck as they was in the late 90s. They may be working for $11 an hour. They may have an actual mortgage of $250 a month, but they still struggling like everybody else who make 3 or 4 times that much and live in other places. Imagine not having those expectations and you're just trying to knock it out in an area to where you know those things are just not going to work. Again, there ain't nothing wrong with masculinity. Nothing at all. Trying to be appreciated by hoes is not a part of masculinity, and it never was. Complaining about your lack of sexual access when you ain't got your stuff together, that's not part of masculinity either, and it never has been. Being proud to recover from substandard circumstances as your actual level of masculinity, it's not part of the deal. A lot of people are just not worth a whole lot. No standards, no class, no associations outside of pretending to be some type of street verified hooligan, nothing. And shout out to the fathers who's doing it right, who's actually teaching their actual nieces and nephews and all that kind of other stuff that these things are things that you don't need to be going through. And that's chaos right now in 2025. Could you imagine what Mississippi was like in the late 90s? Dude, nothing has changed in that city. Nothing has changed in that city. All this stuff is about legacy, man. What legacy that you want to leave behind? Do you want to be the next top entertainer who never tried to change anything, who never voted, who never put anything on the ballot, who never tried to change anything, who never tried to deal with different groups of women, who never tried to do anything outside of expected failure? Or are you just going to leave and do things better and compete with everybody else out there and have better outcomes? Because here's the thing, you can't maintain the same circumstances and pretend that you're for better outcomes. You can't do both. Because one of these things are more substandard than the other. You mean West Mississippi. Arkansas it's a little bit better, but it's not much better than Mississippi. And Louisiana, it's a little bit better than Arkansas, but not much better. Alabama, it's a little bit better, but not much better. So with that said, that is the end of my actual presentation. We all could do better at this thing, and the entertainment piece and the SBE piece ain't how we get there. Not at all. Falling up behind these women and all of these dudes who are still here trying to live off the collective brokenness of these people. Not how it's gonna get done, dude. Not how it's gonna get done at all. So let me drop the link. See who wants to come up. No one gone did. We're just gonna be up here for a little while, then we're gonna close out. Sometimes, man, you have to realize, man, there ain't nothing to save. These people are already at their end goal and their end point. There ain't nothing else you could be able to do here. Nothing. Most of these people just wanted a new group of people to hang out and be stuck with. That's what they actually wanted. So you can't be that upset if you ain't got nobody else trying to join you. You can't be that upset. You can't be that pissed off. You can't. The only thing you can do is just have better personal outcomes where you are less and less dependent on entertainment to help you through the worst times of your life. Better outcomes and more money to do things is what's actually needed. Look on what is going on. Happy Father's Day.
Hey, thanks, man. Thanks, MOT. And I like to say Happy Father's Day to all the dads and granddads and all that who are out there who kind of who've engaged in raising children, raised them to adults, have them moving on pretty successfully, or those who are just kind of starting out and are learning a lot about that as well. It's salute to all of you, because it's truly a labor of love, and you really have to understand how how this works, and you go through it together. But one thing that you do pick up and you do learn is you give them goals, you give them good leadership, you truly help to structure their lives, and they'll move forward. They'll take like a bird to the wing, and and they'll make moves. And I can look at that, having just raised my daughters and raising my son and all, and then I look at my grandson who spent a lot of time with me, and I just see him, and I wanted to really hang out with him a little bit today. And he was like, "Grandpa, I'm working today. He's got a job, and he's so happy to be on his job and working and going to school, and you know." I didn't have to get on him. He just is something that he always wanted to do. He always wanted to. I got a lot of good stuff from you guys, but I always wanted to have my own as well. And he saw a lot of productivity around him. So here this kid is, working on, working on Father's Day, working on weekends, trying to get as many hours as he can, making his own money, and going to school. And no one had to really tell him. It's what he saw. It's what was around him. And many others, of course, learn this way as well. So you do lead by example. You do lead by having things, but certainly putting in that time and effort, and the people who you raise who are around you will see that, and they'll look to follow that type of lead. My grandson, of course, he's putting in his own time, and he's doing all his own stuff, and Lord knows I love him certainly more than life itself. But this is um, a big part of this game, and what MOT and others are talking about is literally right on the money as far as that's concerned. So I always like to hear this type of stuff, because this is where it's at. No one's complaining. Well, my mom didn't do this, or this chick didn't do this for me. Or they just they just out here pushing.
Boomers gotta go. Oh, dudes
Boomers,
gotta go.
boomers didn't give me anything. Okay, my grandson's got a lot for me, but at the end of the day, his complaint is, I don't want you guys giving me everything all the time. I want to make this on my own. This is what this kid's saying. Why also? His friends are doing that as well. His friends are
Yep.
working and so forth. So the people that he's surrounding himself with, are productive, like his grandparents, his parents, grandparents, and so forth. This is kind of how this moves, and we need to consistently um, push that, because some of this gets lost. You see people here blaming others, and how we ain't got this, and these guys don't see this, and talking crazy. But yet at the self same time, we're not talking about what is it going to do to help you be more successful. It's just like I was looking at this one video of these. Once I mentioned it last week, of these young people getting out of school. graduating at the end of May.
Yeah.
Where colleges tend to have their graduations, mid-May, end of May, and that's when people graduate out, and you saw all these brothers. You saw sisters too, of course. We saw all these
Yep.
brothers coming out and talking about the heavy duty stuff that they were getting into in the grad school, going into these great corporations and so forth. None of them were complaining about anything else. But hey, listen, I put my time in, and I got this, and this is where I'm going next, and I know I've
No
got to
one was
put.
talking no pop the balloon. Nobody was talking this manosphere stuff. It definitely wasn't a manosphere meetup where you spend a weekend there thinking that you about to, you know, make it in life because you met your relationship buddies online. Like no nonsense. Those people were not complaining about feminism. They
They,
wasn't.
they, they weren't even looking at that. And when you talk about masculinity, I always grew up where masculinity was based on your deeds, what you did. That was masculine. I remember there was a guy who lived up the street from us. Time he owned his house, but then he owned I think two other houses in the neighborhood. You saw him working on them. Well, not so much right in the immediate neighborhood, but a neighborhood over the next over. And this guy was working on his houses. And we're like, and I remember me and my brother saying, "That's a man right there." And we were just talking about just guys who. That's a man. A man. He wasn't walking around, you know, trying to be Mr. Macho and judging himself by who he was banging.
Yep.
He was working on houses and building more homes and building wealth, and that's kind of what men were about, and that's kind of we looked at. I ended up doing the same thing. My brothers doing it, did the same thing. So that was the key. Have build stuff. Work. Try to achieve, and we know how life can be difficult. Horrific curveballs can be thrown at you. In order to get through some of that and to deal with some of that you may not be able to see coming. It means if you've worked a productive life and you're preparing yourself for all types of things, you can better handle some of that. And we all know tremendous curveballs can be thrown at you. So much of masculinity is based on the preparation of your mind and being very productive. And that seems to get missed. People want to talk about what bathroom you pissing in and all this other kind of craziness. But let's look at what really that's all about. Those young guys coming out of school, working, going hard, putting money together, getting their educations and so forth. That's very manly, very womanly to go to school as well. Um, so if you're talking about being a man, achieve your goals. Get through. Your set your plan and start to achieve those plans. Get through them. Um, that's very masculine. And other women and so forth. If you're talking about women and you want to bring them into it, they look at that kind of thing as well. So anyway, that's key. Being a father, being a grandfather, and me being a grandfather right now is even more rewarding in some respects. Even being a dad, dad was great, but even just having a grandson and raising him a young man and seeing how he growing into manhood, it's oh, man, it's the most beautiful thing. It's beautiful, and this this is our role. This is the role that we should be playing, helping to guide them, give them good guidance. Um, important, and we should all live our lives like that. There are people talking about the manosphere, but there are people living the manosphere, living it, achieving, achieving, achieving all their goals, and you don't see them here complaining, driving around in cars, talking crazy, calling out other guys to come see them and all kind of
Get
madness.
your flight.
Just, 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 just incredible ignorance. It's unbelievable, unbelievable. Anyway, go ahead, MOT.
I mean, man, but a lot of people here are here, man. They are the modern day ignorance. They're nothing but ignorantists.
I mean, they get mad at us saying that. oh, you're pathetic, this and that. They get angry when you call them out and you look at them for exactly the kind of bullshit that they're running. But that's what you're dealing with, and that's why the people who run and chase behind them, they're not really achieving much. They're not doing much of anything because you don't have the proper mindset talking with these people that can help put them on the right track, especially if they're a little off in life. Everyone can get sidetracked a bit on things, and that can happen to anybody. So there's nobody who was not above that. How do you help to get back on track? You can do things yourself, but it's always good to have people who are who can help you, who are an aid to you. That's one of the things that in our black community, in certain respects, how it's functioned at its best, was good at that. As much as we want to say negative, we've been very good at helping to to help to straighten people out and to fly right. And we had many people, our fathers, our grandfathers, uncles, and friends that called members of the family, and so on and so forth. We always had people that to help you kind of move properly, and then that's a part of it. So your extended family and so forth plays a big role there as well. But you have these people who are out here who are those that will mislead you and send you into other directions because they're angry. They haven't achieved much. They want to be out here now and try to guide people and are more willing to misguide than to guide them properly, and want to take pride in that because of their own self hatred, um, um, and ignorance and stupidity on themselves, which I look at as a certain level of being evil.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Arrested stupidity is a huge problem, man. Huge. Arrested stupidity. I mean, and it's like they spend the time looking for the magic when the magic is just in the work that your ass is unwilling to not put in.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So a lot of people want to blame others for what they're not doing, but yet I see young kids out here blaming no one, who've had hard circumstances in their lives and pushing forward because they have those that are actually helping to guide them, and showing them some decent leadership, and they're not complaining. They're just moving. You know, people are talking manosphere, they're talking all this, but these people are living it and they're doing it, and they're not wasting time listening to these other
Oh
crazies
no.
online
Oh no.
saying some of the crazy stuff that you hear them saying.
But look, I mean, there's a lot of people here. Now, no, Alfie, we're gonna have that next week. I don't even check the calendar to even know that it was Father's Day until somebody actually told me Happy Father's Day like 10 hours ago. Didn't even know it was Father's Day, but we will have it next week though, so that way we can have that conversation about immigration. You bring your stuff, I bring my stuff. We discuss it, and after that, we're gonna have to do other things uh, other than talk about immigration because I don't think immigration is a big deal. I think it's a labor argument. Once you start hiring people, like I am in actual Florida, you'll see that what type of people want to show up to work and what people don't want to show up to work, and having these immigrants having their kids taken away from them at the actual border is some crazy, stupid bullshit that don't need to be happening. I don't want to hear this shit about breaking laws because personnel was hyping up this drug peddling scum in the actual community. So I just like, man, listen, let's have the actual immigration conversation so that way we can be able to move on past it. Because people need to know that when people are stuck on certain issues, they need to know what's behind that issue.
Exactly, and that's a key thing right there, Motin. It's so much big part of the culture war, that they and it's starting to blow up on them. I just looked at Trump sitting here saying, "Well, I'm not going to go after certain industries. We're not going to go after so they were getting ready to roll up an
You know
option
what
on
that
California."
means, right?
Yeah, yeah. You know that it happened. The millionaires who backed him up, said, "Buddy, you're messing up my business. Now you're getting in the way of my money."
Here's
You,
$3-4 million. You have to not raid my actual industry. That's what it is.
and,
It's
and
a paid bribe. It's a paid
and
bribe.
you and you bet up. Well, it's not only that; it's also a threat. You better back down
Yes, it is.
because you're getting in the way of my money. You're gonna release you're gonna because you're gonna get rid of a lot of our workforce, and we supported you, so you better turn back. You better turn some of this back. You understand? Get away from some of these industries and shut your mouth on some of this. And they hung up the phone on him. And what did he do? He turned around and turned some of this back because he he understands what's buttering his bread. And
I
at the
mean,
end
it
of the day,
looks
this
crazy.
this is
It
a
looks crazy.
labor economic money issue, and don't play with people's money like that. Don't play around. This is very serious business. All right, go ahead, Emoti. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just that people have to understand that seeing them here and seeing them succeed, and black people not getting access to those jobs, like, hey man, I'm out the business of defending black people because they black. I'm out the business, man. I don't want to do anything like that ever again. These people never deserve my help or anything else. I'm here for working class people and people who want to work while they're here. And once you keep it at the productivity piece, and that's it. And smashing people to pieces who actually are not a part of that. Grand part of it as well. But you truly have to understand that these things are easy to fix. Dude, I don't have enough time to be worried about immigrants, to be quite honest with you. I'm worried about my own business and the actual lack of people who show up where I'm actually at. So, but you just have the immigration conversation, then you got to participate in the process. And if you are not going to do that beyond that, then I guess I ain't nothing else to talk about. So, yeah, man. So, do you have much else to add to this discussion about the Father's Day 2025 special?
Oh, me? No, no, not much else except for your dads. You do all understand real dads out here. This is it's a long term game. This goes on far beyond you. So when I'm dead and gone, and I'm sand in a box, this kid will still be he'll still be moving, and his kids will be moving. And
Man, I want to leave this
you
place better than I came in it with. That's what I want to
eggs.
do.
Exactly. And you set this thing in the right direction. It's bigger than you for these selfish, short-sighted, stupid people who are only thinking about themselves and are not thinking about their kids and their progeny down the line. I don't know what to say to these people except, you know, um, hopefully there are more of us who are thinking certainly long term and beyond ourselves than those other ones who are not. So this is constantly a marathon, and we have to be thinking more long term and teach your kids towards that, and they'll pick it up. They'll pick it up. They certainly will, and that's my message to the dads and the fathers and yes, and the grandfathers, grandparents, because
And the
so
people who are concerned,
so many of us. I was going to say this. So many of us who are grandparents have picked up a large part of the parenting role as well
oh,
in,
I
in, in
know.
this in this generation. So I just wanted to put that uh put that out there. Anyway, that's
And
it.
so what I'm saying is that, dude, you got to care about the outcome, and you have to participate in the process to get to the outcome. Like, if you're literally here as a non-participant, why are you here? Why are you here? Like, if you literally ain't trying to make anything better, like, where the fuck did you learn that? Where'd you learn it? That you can have no expectations on things getting better, and you can literally complain to people who actually participate, and you want everything with your name on it. Like, I don't get where these tards come from, man. I don't
It's
get it.
it's ridiculous. I want to put it ridiculous, ridiculous.
Yeah, man. So with that said, go if you ain't got nothing else, gotta go fix me up some salmon. Some of this guy, some of this freshly caught Atlantic salmon.
Well, anyway, thanks for inviting me up, my brother. Thanks for inviting me up.
All right. So with that said, I want to thank you guys for coming through on the man tomorrow. You guys, wait, hold on a second. Hold on. No one to add on Father and Man Spirit. All right, well, all right, man. Well, I'll let you come up for a piece. Let you come up for a piece and talk about that. But the immigration conversation has to be something totally by itself. But if you want to talk about that, yeah, we can talk about that. Yes, same here, Ronan, man. Like mine died very early, but I had a lot of great help along the way. But I had to be in a situation to where I can actually be helped. Because a lot of these people who are expecting all this stuff from society, a lot of these people have picked up a lot of bad habits that ain't nobody gonna be able to deal with because you didn't get your primary stuff off. And a lot of people don't understand that. That people want to just lay out the information, watch you put into actions, and move on. People ain't got time to sit there and babysit you and handhold you through stuff, which is what a lot of this expectation is from these non-participatory personnel. They want they want the information, and then they want somebody else to practice the information for them as well. And no one really has a lot of time for that. Clearly, don't have time for that. Hey man, you hitting the link? Out for the first one? I'll give you a couple more minutes to see if you hit the link. Oh, there you go.
You hear me, man?
I can. I just
Hey,
added
how
you
you
to the
doing?
stream. Yeah, what's going on, man? Happy Father's Day, man.
All right, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I want to say shout out to all of you. Is there an echo or anything?
No, sir. Not on my end.
Okay, good, good. Yeah, I want to add something to this father piece because we'll have the immigration debate next week if you know if time wouldn't allow it.
I
Uh,
didn't even know Father's Day was today until somebody told me, man. I literally don't even look up. I mean, because if I would have checked in the Facebook, obviously I would have seen these, crackpots arguing over, these single mothers talking about Happy Father's Day and all that shit. This year, I didn't even check for it.
that's a good thing, MOT. That's a good thing. If you too busy to keep up with holidays, that's a good thing, man. That means you're working. So I ain't gonna hold it to you. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I mean,
That's
man, every day's a holiday to me.
I wanna add this piece, and this is something that goes inside the Father Day that you were talking about in terms of there seems to be this. Okay, let me say this up front. I'm not in the manosphere. I'm not in the red pill, but I do support the manosphere and the red pill.
Hey, man, your sound going in and out, man. I mean, if you like
Yeah,
on a
yeah,
speakerphone,
yeah. I do hear it.
I mean, just use the phone by itself. I mean, don't try to use the speaker. Just use the phone by itself.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes, all the way. Yeah, clearly.
All the way now? Can you hear me now? No, no problem.
No problem at all.
All right, bet. So, real quick, I'm not in the manosphere and I'm not in the red pill community. And if you can't hear me at any time, let me know because I live in Southern California in the mountains and we don't have the greatest internet where I live at. I live about 5,000 feet up. So, I apologize for that. I only can do what they offer to me. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
No, that's
So,
cool. Hey.
but the bottom line is this, man. There seems to be a big problem in the black manosphere that I'm noticing.
What
And I'm not
channels?
gonna
Whoa. What channels are you talking about? Okay, so when you say you're not part of the Black Manosphere, you're not part of the Red Pill space. So what does that statement mean that there seems to be a lot of problems with these channels? What channels are you exactly talking about that are
okay, let
having
me
these
say
problems?
this. Let me say this. There's a certain aspect of what you're pushing that I support 100%. There's a certain aspect of what you're pushing on your channel in the black manosphere that I support 100%. And the best way I can narrow it down to you always talk about what getting your shit together and not dealing with these people.
Yeah,
That basically sums it up, right? Get your shit
pretty
together,
much.
and you don't have to deal with all these people, right? All these problems that these guys are complaining about,
It's
you
mostly
really don't
financial.
have to. Right, mostly financials because they ain't got their shit together. right? I agree with that. I do agree with that. And the problem that I'm seeing is that the only counter that I've heard to that is that, and I don't want to start no beefs. That's not my job. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to clear the air. But it seems like multiple channels, they want to constantly talk about relationships, in particular with black women. And
Yes.
it always steers into this. I'm just gonna say it, man. It always steers into this. Well, now we have platforms, we can get after them now. That's kind of the tone that I'm seeing. We can
Yeah, but
now
that's
get.
all it is. That's all it is. That's all it's ever been. Listen, it doesn't take a lot of intelligence to complain about women online. It doesn't take a lot of intelligence to go to TikTok, find a woman who says or does something crazy, and try to make a whole actual live stream out of
I
it.
agree
It
with
doesn't take
you.
a lot of intelligence to do that. But while saying that, a lot of people are coping with the fact that they can't get with X through this type of nonsense.
Well, here's my thing. You're talking about Father's Day, right?
Yeah.
And you did a good job as far as explaining how there was some kind of breakage that happened before. I'm Gen Y and you're Gen X, I presume. I'm a millennial, you're Gen Xer, so we're not that far apart. All this rift between fathers and mothers and all this stuff, we can pretty much say it started before we came on the scene, because we wasn't living through the sexual revolution. We didn't do all that stupid stuff. We wasn't around where it was segregation. So I kind of see that. I don't know what it is, man, but I can't quite put my finger on it. But it seems like there's like one side of the manosphere that's talking about being constructive, men getting their shit together, and just choosing better women. I would say
Yeah.
that's kind of what you've been talking about, and a few other guys I've noticed. But then there's the
But
other side of the manosphere
yes.
where they want men to get. They say they want men. They say this. They say they want men to get their shit together, but it's only to get after the women, meaning to get back at them or to go inside and fix the community. That's my biggest problem right now within this space. And we're talking about fathers. I don't understand how men can want to be fathers to a community that's been proven to fail. The community has failed. All the metrics says it has failed. And that's my only issue with all this. It's like I don't tell men to get themselves together so they can go back and get back at women who, in my opinion, ain't never gonna change. They ain't never gonna change, man. They are what they
They don't
are.
need to. They don't need to. These men who don't have their shit together have given them all the incentive to not get their shit together.
Now
They
there's
have
a
given
young
them
lady
all
that
the
came.
incentive.
You remember that young lady that came on your channel last time? We talked about her, and she had the little pink emoji on her. I can't think of her name. She was talking about the transgender piece and all that. That
Oh
that
no no no.
chick,
That's Made the Alchemist. Yeah.
Made Alchemist. Shout out to her, because I went. I'm not gonna use no one's name because I don't want to start no beef. But she went on somebody's channel, and I heard this about a week ago. And she called these people out. She said, "Y'all worship black women." She said it just like that. She said,
No no
"Y'all
no
worship
no
black
no no.
women."
She went on BGS's channel,
I'm
and
not
I
saying no
actually
name.
went. No no no. I went up there later on, and I asked BGS simply, "What is a fucking Itmore?" And he started talking a whole bunch of crazy shit. The same fucking live stream, by the way. The same one. Scroll all the
Well,
way
I
to the
mean,
nearly to the end. But you have to understand this. BGS's channel is for men who cannot talk to women. His channel is for those dudes. His channel
well,
is for dumb niggas and people who cannot be in a room and actually talk to women like a rational human being. He provides these dudes cover for believing all the stupid shit that they think and that they actually believe.
well let
Yes,
me
he
let
made
me
a
let me let me
deliberate marketing decision to give self esteem to dumb niggas. That's what
let,
he did as an actual marketing strategy.
let me give BGS some credit. I'm gonna give him some credit for some things. All right. I think BGS, in terms of him presenting information, in terms of how this situation came about, when he talks about the Moynihan report and the welfare system and all those things, it's spot on. He talks about how slavery and what happened during slavery, spot on. I'll give BGS credit for some of the things he talked about politically, meaning everybody's going to have wrongs, ups and downs when you talk about politics. It is what it is. I'm not holding it against you. I'm not holding that against him. All right. But I think that's where the big problem is what do we do moving forward?
No,
What
no,
do
no.
we do moving forward?
Like the problem with BGS was his agent of Kevin Samuels, bringing him here to destroy and expose our actual space, to see who wanted to be a professional YouTuber based off of dumb niggas and actual people who actually wanted to actually work toward progress. BGS's platform is about complaining about feminism, complaining about women in general, but like the subsegment is you must hate feminists because they don't want to fuck with you or make a family with you, or and you and a whole bunch of gobbledygook nonsense. Like the people over there, I know they can't be saved. That's how come they can't really talk very bluntly by themselves. They need that crutch to actually be over there. And you need to understand that there is a manosphere of people who want to do things, and then there's a professional manosphere who want to keep up all this fucking bullshit for their own personal gain. Now, I give
Okay,
BGS the credit for everything that happened before Kevin Samuels blew up. It was a different BGS at that point. The moment Kevin Samuels blew up and he realized that he could live off the collective non-progression of these fucking men that he claimed that he gives a fuck about, that's when he turned into what the fuck he is now.
well, okay. This is my thing, and this is my piece. I'm not saying BGS is or he's not, and I'm not singling him out or anyone out or you out.
I
I'm
am.
saying, okay, that's fine. That's your choice. That's your choice. My angle is this. I kind of like what my boy Mad Bus Driver said, and shout out to him. Look, go to new women, as he say, new stargates, get new matrices, new stargates, and
Yeah,
build a
but here's the
community.
problem with that. Here's the problem. They don't want new women. They want these current women to like them. They want these current women to accept them. Now, when you talk about Mad Bus Driver X, that's a solution based thing. SYSBM, it requires you having your fucking money together to move to other things. These
Yes.
dumb niggas don't want anything else but access to what's here. And the complaints are around what's here. They don't want to get their shit together to move to any other women. They fucking are in love with what's here. They don't want to experience anything new. The something new that they want to experience is right here. It's right here.
All right. Well, maybe I'm ignorant to it because
Yeah. Yeah.
this is. Let me say this too. I have nothing against black women. My whole family full of them. I understand black women. I
I
understand them.
got
I get it.
way worse women in my family that they could ever fucking discuss on this internet.
Right, right,
Way worse
exactly,
women.
right.
Way
And
worse
I
examples.
understand it. It's no hate, but at some point, a person, we're talking about Father's Day, and one
Yeah.
thing about being a father is doing what? Making hard decisions and living
Yes,
with it.
sir.
Sometimes
Hmm.
you got to have a strong backbone and say, look, this is what we need to do as a family, as an
Yeah.
individual, as a community, and just move forward. And if it failed, it failed. If it don't, it don't. In my opinion, that's how this situation came about. I think it was too many wars. We had too many wars in America. World War One, two, three, Vietnam, Korea. We had too many wars back to back. And women, by their nature, they gonna choose whatever's around. And the men that were still left around, unfortunately, we didn't understand PTSD. We didn't understand the cycle of war, what it produces. And the men who didn't go, what it is, what it is. They seen an opportunity. So I think that's what caused this situation where the men who were left around didn't have the strong backbone to just tell women, excuse my language, sit your asses down, because that's all this boils down to. But what I'm trying to figure out moving forward is that what I'm getting a sense that they're doing all this. So it seems, I'm just gonna say it. I don't want to confuse you, but it seems like
No,
the
come out
only
and say it. Wait,
All right.
hold on a second. I don't want you to hold yourself back. I want you to come out and say what you're saying so that way we can have a conversation.
All right, I'm gonna say what I need to say. It seems like these Negroes online, all they want to do is get their shit together just so they can go in and talk down to these women, get some
Yes.
bitterness and resentful shit back, or
Yes.
these women would somehow miraculously decide to change on a dime because you finally got your shit together. Let me tell you something, brother. That shit ain't never gonna work. These women in America, all of them. Why would they change? Why the hell would anybody change if you keep coming to them and they keep doing the same shit? At some point, if Ford is making a bad car and you keep going to buy Ford cars and you have the option to buy something else, why would Ford change? Why the hell would Ford say I need to make a better car? You keep buying the damn car. So that's my opinion, MOT. At this point, I
It's
like
not a
the
wrong
black.
opinion. It's not a wrong opinion. It's just that what you think is manosphere clearly is not manosphere. The
Okay.
manosphere has a certain mission to be here. Professional entertainers was not part of what the manosphere came here to do.
Well, let me say this too. There are some brothers in the manosphere. Shout out to Theo Wow. Shout out to a few other
Yeah,
brothers.
fuck him. Yeah, fuck
Well,
him.
that's your position. I'm saying shout out to him because I've
No,
listened to
no,
some of the stuff.
wait. Let me explain. If you need the relationship motherfuckers to draw people into your supposedly mythical IT course, you're just as full of shit as Obsidian is.
Well, I mean I hear what you're saying. I'm just simply saying him
I know.
offering
He's from
an
Dallas.
option.
He don't have to leave the state of Texas to fucking do his IT course. Shit, there's plenty of counties in fucking Austin where he could put this shit on.
Well, I mean,
But but
I hear
he
you.
wants to do it among dumb niggas. And he's willing to pay a bullshit artist like Obsidian to bring these so-called men to the fucking IT shit. That's not how he got into IT. That's not how I got into IT. I went to IT by going to a specific school that specialized in that shit. I didn't have to go through fucking like nobody to get into IT. That shit was some shit I was on. And he supposedly created all these six-figure brothers, but there ain't no six-figure motherfuckers around here that has graduated from that fucking course. I mean, we had one guy who claimed to be getting all these job offers. You know, Azrael the Daywalker. I'm pretty sure that you wasn't here for that. Where a guy who went to Sub-Zero's class and apparently Theo Woff's class, and he probably still ain't in IT today.
Well,
But
look,
but,
all I know,
but Theo
I'm
Woff
trying to tell
is
you,
wait.
I'll be
I know,
honest.
but Theo Woff is willing to put up money and buy friends and buy fake fucking credibility among dumb niggas. He's willing to do that. I'm not willing to do that. Nobody else with sense to do that. Because if you wanted to go to IT, we already have one here. His name is Nagone11. He's a fucking IT recruiter. Okay? And what you don't need is the relationship goofies to fucking get to the fucking productivity piece. You don't need the motherfuckers at all. Look. Imagine me, I'm telling people to go get their CDL. Imagine if I needed to put on an actual manosphere meetup in Denver and I would fucking invite a whole bunch of relationship motherfuckers who ain't got their shit together, that ain't got nothing to do with the transportation piece to get people to transportation. I'd be looked at like a fucking clown. At the
I
end of the
agree.
day, if you're going to go get your fucking shit together, you don't need these relationship motherfuckers. It's actually, look, it's the opposite of that shit. And look, it's his money. He can spend it how he wants. He can fucking look dumb as shit while doing that, but we can't legitimize whole shit like that. We cannot legitimize whole shit like that. No.
Well, let's go back to our brother Mad Bus Driver for a second. Shout out to
Yeah,
that brother.
yeah.
All right. The solution that he presented, which is a viable solution, right?
To
I
some
think
people.
a lot of those brothers, they just don't mean it, they just don't want to do it. They don't want to, they
Correct.
don't see it as an option. Now,
Yeah,
some of
so
that,
fuck them. So fuck
okay,
them.
but
Because
here's
you
the
can't
deal.
help them. Can't help them.
Here's the deal. If there's gonna be a message that's going to be centered around getting somebody's shit together, right? Which all men should do. That's my message. I push the message of getting your shit together just for you, not for no woman. You should be Why you want to be homeless and broke? You know, damn, a woman, you should be. I'm gonna be honest with you. I got more women when I was homeless than I when I got my shit together. I'm serious. I
So
ain't gonna lie,
so
serious.
so
You know,
so that's what I'm saying. It's about the quality over the quantity. But these people don't want to get their shit together. They want the same level of access that previous generations got without having their shit together.
I
And
don't
I'm
know.
just
I don't
saying,
understand what you're saying. That's the part I don't get.
okay, okay,
What
okay.
I'm trying to figure out is if they get their shit together, if they do all these things to get their shit together, are they pushing a message that they will get the better black American women, or are they
They don't
pushing the
want the
message?
they don't want better black American women. They want the worst fucking women to respect them and treat them better.
Give me an example.
They want the lowest hanging fruit of black women who fucking adhere to all of this fucking hip hop bullshit
Okay,
to
okay,
actually be with
sexy
them.
red. I got you. Got
Sexy
you.
red,
Okay.
Magna Stallion, all that shit. That's what the fuck they want. They don't want
Okay.
other women other than that. Eric Burr, you got a lot of wind in the background. And, take yourself off mute, Eric Burr, before you take care of that. All right.
I'm patient. I'll let him get himself straight because I
No,
want
no,
to
no,
hear
no,
from
no, no. But you have to understand that these people are not trying to get their shit together. If you look at the people who they follow, if you look at the people where they are, they're not trying to get better women. They're trying to get a better placement in the current society. They're not trying to move on to a better anything.
Oh man, you didn't woke me up tonight. Maybe I didn't understand that. I because when I hear this stuff and I hear listen, let me just I'm gonna tell a little something about myself, negative or bad. I used to live in Atlanta, Georgia before I moved to California. Okay. I used to do the homosexual stuff, all that shit. I did. I mean, I'm 6'6". You know, I'm the 666 guy. You know what I'm saying? I did all that stuff in ATL. All right. So all this stuff about dating women with no money, I used to be the Pookie or the Tyrone, whatever you want to call me. I don't give a shit. So be it.
That's what
I
they
did it.
aspire to. That's what they aspire to, though. They
But
don't
that ain't it
aspire to
though.
anything.
That ain't
Yeah,
it.
well, to you, but to these dumb niggas, that's what they want.
I used to
And look,
tell girls that I used to tell, I'm serious. MOT, if I tell you anything the truth, you better believe this. I used to tell girls who had their shit together, and I used to ask them, why are you messing with me? I ain't got
look,
nothing. Why are you
hey,
messing with
hey,
me?
hey, hey, hey,
Go
hey,
ahead.
hey, hey. Now for the first one, it doesn't matter. Those women don't matter at all to anyone but these dumb niggas. Okay, to them, any opportunity lost is devastating to them. Cynthia G wanting to abort their fucking child is devastating to them because they want to impregnate that fucking girl bad as fuck. They want to try to find out magical words that they can say to tie her to a car motor in they fucking one bedroom fucking apartment. It ain't gonna fucking work. All right, so we're talking about dumb niggas who don't have any high aspirations of anything except for dealing with
Well,
low hanging fucking fruit.
let me clear this up too. And this is in the father conversation. Because when I came out, the concept of the father being in the process of dating a woman, that was gone. I never had to go through any father in order to date any black woman, and let
That's
alone I didn't.
fine. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's
Right.
fine. We know these women are not fucking worthwhile, which is the reason why they are high number, which means it should be easy to fucking dodge. But these dudes' end goal is to fuck with that type of woman. That's why these throwaway niggas, you gotta leave them the fuck alone and leave them out there and let these women go out there and take these motherfuckers' heads off. These are not people that we can fucking deal with. They seen an opportunity to complain about women and they came here with high fucking numbers of dumb niggas to just run in and flood in here and support the wrong motherfuckers so that way they can have control over something.
So let
I
me
am not
clear
worried
this
about
up.
those people.
Let's clear this up. So basically, there's a message of men being fathers to get their shit together to build a constructive community and build a constructive family. There's that
That
piece.
most of these people have rejected.
They
Okay?
don't want. They want to get their shit together so they can get a sexy red or a Meg
Yes.
Stallion,
Yes.
or let me say this one too, or let me say this one too, or
Lotto.
an educated Meg the Stallion, and
Yeah,
educated
of
because I
course.
dated a whole lot of those, and to get one of those and build or continue to add on to the current failed community.
Yes.
Is that the clarity?
Yes.
Okay, I'll let the other brother. I just wanted to, the
No,
other
no,
brother.
no,
I
no, no, no. Like it's not hard. It's really not hard. DJ Hemp, Mr. Fantastic, Ty City, like all these motherfuckers are here for a certain specific type of dumb nigga. They're not trying to create anything better. They're trying to create exactly what the fuck is here. Nothing's fucking changing here. Okay? What they want is access to the same shit. And they want to brag on access to the same shit. If they wanted to go after different things, they would clearly focus their content on doing so. The fact that they can't fucking do that and they need dumb niggas to be here in order for that to happen, I think there's nothing to fucking talk about here. All of
okay,
this
so
shit you should have picked up.
they
Yes,
want the
Obsidian.
men. They
Yes,
want the women.
Obsidian.
They want the men who was like I'm blaming. I'm saying myself. So if anybody say, "Oh, you think you," no, I was not always a constructive dude. I say that up front. And I got
But
more
here's the
women
thing.
when I was non-constructive than when I
Correct.
became constructive. So they
But
want
here's
the
the
women
thing.
who want
Yeah.
they want the women who want men that are non-constructive. Is that what you're saying? That's the gist of it.
Yes.
They want
Yes.
those
And,
kind of women.
yes. And because they don't have their shit together, they're already at the end point. They just ain't got the bitches to go with it. That's the problem here. That's the problem with those subgroup of dumbass niggas.
Woo!
They already are non-progressive. They
Wow.
already don't have their shit together. They don't have any plans on getting their shit together. So they was like, okay, I'm already ain't shit. Where are my bitches? That's what these
Oh, okay,
dumb
I got
motherfuckers are saying. Yeah, where are my bitches? I ain't shit. I got dumb nigga DNA on fucking
okay,
fleek. Where are my
okay.
hoes?
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha. So
that's what
they're
it is.
angry that they're not. So basically, if they got, so let's clear this up. If they got their shit together, they're angry that they still not getting those kind of women who
Correct,
want the
correct,
men that don't have their shit together. And
correct,
if they
correct,
don't have their shit together, they're angry that the women still don't want them, even though
correct,
they okay.
correct.
All right, man. I know you might say that that doesn't sound like a lot, but to me on the outside, what I'm hearing is men talking about fathers and rebuilding the community and men being constructive,
No, fuck
but then
that.
I hear one side saying go to the be with the same woman that wants the complete opposite of all that. That's why I was kind of confused. I'm like, them women don't want.
No. Those women at this point, they know the type of men that want to have access to them. They know these dumb niggas are like chomping at the fucking bit, trying to give them
Yep.
their next fucking kid. So you have to understand that these dumb niggas are not to be paid attention to. At the end of the day, these people know that what they want is bad. They know that the outcomes are going to be bad and fucking temporary. These dumb niggas know that. That's why their
Wow.
whole conversation online is waiting on a bitch and fucking game. They want to listen to
Gang, the game
every
changer
bit.
situation.
Yeah. Every bit of fucking ounce of dumb shit that they can fucking try, because these women are addicted to unfuckable niggas. Addicted to having unfuckable niggas around for the express purpose of not fucking with them. They don't understand that these women don't even like their motherfucking ass like that. They didn't like the
Nope.
other motherfuckers that they was fucking with either.
Yep.
Yeah,
But Pete,
that's all it
come on,
is.
Pete, I gotta say this. I gotta say this. Here's the problem, and maybe I'm slow. Maybe I'm slow. But here's the problem. If these guys are constantly talking about how bad these women are, and they've done lives, man, they've done theories and books and movies and all kinds of stuff on these women.
Of course they have. Yeah.
If they've done all this on these women, why do they think they're gonna have a successful community and a successful outcome trying to build something with these women? That's what I'm confused
Well,
on.
I mean,
That's the
dumb
big
niggas
problem.
are not trying to have a community. Dumb niggas just want some ass and want people to fix shit while they're
Yep.
waiting. That's what it is. Dumb niggas want to get their dick wet
Fair
while
enough. Fair.
everybody else fix things. These dumb niggas don't want no fucking community. No, that
They in
requires
the grasshopper.
planning and all this other shit. Like, bro, that's far beyond where dumb niggas are.
Fair enough.
They don't want that. It's like, look, while you guys fix things, I'm gonna fuck on your wife while you at work, and you just gonna have to
Yeah,
fucking deal with it. That's what dumb niggas think.
But they not doing that though. That's the point. You're saying that they want to be the guy doing that, but they're not doing that. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. And they're never gonna get the opportunity to do that.
that's why the Columbus short. That's how the Columbus short. His wife was fucking some Bloods, and once I think on that she was giving money. She was the dude Columbus short, the actor money he paid off. She was giving it to the Bloods, and then once I guess the money ran out, she's like, nah, I ain't fucking with them. Then they try to extort him. So yeah, they want to be their dudes. They want to be like those cats. They want to be like the. I don't know how many dudes I want to be like Bloods and Crips. And I'm like, those are the worst people you could be. Yeah, dudes want to be. They want to be the Pookie and Ray Rays. They want to be the archetype.
Dude,
They want to
they
be what
want
I
it.
used to be. I ain't lying. I used to be that guy. I used to do all that stupid shit. I ain't gonna lie. Look, brother,
Yeah, I was a
everything
Pookie
I
too.
But
talk
here's the
about
thing. But here's the thing, though, Alpha. They look at you as the fucking model of where they want to fucking be.
of
Yep.
what? Well, I'm not doing that no more though. That's the point. I'm not.
No. But they want to be the next niggas in line to do that. Like,
Yeah,
like, like
degenerate.
they
They want to
believe
be
in this shit
degenerate.
like a religion.
What?
This is a religion to dumb niggas. Yes.
Like the Joker. The Joker was a fell comedian. Then once he fell on that acid, you see what happened. He became the clown prince of crimes. That's where everybody want to be. They want to be the next Joker or Carnage.
So they want to
While you,
be what I used to be.
yes.
And I fought to get away from that. I had to get out of that shit. It was
But
only
these,
three options in that shit. Jail,
however,
death,
these
or
dumb
home.
niggas. Oh, hold on. These dumb niggas are trying to fight to get in the circumstances that you was in. That's what these dumb niggas are trying to do. That's what
No
I'm
way.
saying.
Damn.
Yes, dumb niggas are waiting for their opportunity to be
And the
chose
thing about it is the
by
Keishas are tired of
hoes.
Pookie. Exactly, MOT. The Keishas are tired. They see honestly a lot of the Keishas and the Harass, they tired of the Pookie and Ray Rays.
Yeah,
They tolerate them. They constant. Yeah,
I
it's
know,
contempt.
I know, but they don't understand that they're 20 years too late to the fucking party. Now, if you
Yep.
grew up in the fucking 90s, that was a Renaissance festival for you on that
Yep.
shit. But these are like the
Exactly.
Renaissance festival niggas in like motherfucking fucking January. Like, you don't have
Yep.
no Renaissance festival in fucking January. They wait till it get warm up before they fucking start frying up them turkey legs and shit. So
Exactly.
these niggas are like synthetic niggas.
They essentially want to get their shit together so their shit can be destroyed by these women that's looking for men like I used
Yes.
to.
Yes. Yep.
Yes. They're trying to lose the hoes. They're
That's
trying
crazy,
to
man.
lose. Yeah,
That
it's
is
fucking
It's like
nuts.
Dominatrix. They want free Dominatrix.
that's insane, man. And you know what? Let me
Yes.
say this too. I'm glad you said that word dominatrix because I do believe, and like I said, I do believe there's some kind of sort of BDSM dom situation going on here
Yep.
where there are some men in this world where they like to be dominated by women. I understand that.
I
That's
know,
completely true.
dude, listen, man. They look at fucking Cynthia G like I Dream of Genie. That's what the fuck these dumb niggas are on, man.
Yeah. They
Bro,
hate Rod. They hate Perkins.
bro,
They want to be like that
bro.
dude.
I'm telling you, these dudes want to be it, dude. They want to lose so bad to these fucking women, but these women
Woo.
have no fucking use for them. That's the
Yo,
fucking
MOT. You see
problem.
how when they not to cut you off. You remember see when the women they talk about women like 300,000 women lost their job, black women lost their job. You see how dudes was about to have orgasms and so over that. I'm like, you seriously?
No, like, dude, the dudes are like Birdman and hand rub. Like, finally, a bitch is gonna need a dumb nigga like me now. She lost her
Yeah,
fucking
exactly,
job.
exactly.
She lost her fucking job. Shit, I got I got all this dumb nigga DNA around. Shit,
That's a
I can go
bad
sneak me
deal,
a baby
man.
on motherfucking Cynthia G right now. Like
That's
this
a
is
bad
what
deal.
dumb niggas think. Bro, dumb niggas think that when these women lose their job, all of a sudden, it's gonna be like alt control delete. The computer's gonna restart and it's like, okay, loading, masculinity, shit that I need. That's what these niggas think. These dumb niggas literally fucking think that when women lose their fucking jobs, that they're not just gonna go get another one. She just gonna go find another dumb nigga to put on their team. Like, this is what
Exactly.
these dumb niggas think.
Yeah,
That's
yo,
hey,
look at it
that,
now,
you know what?
MT.
That's real talk, man. Because when I was doing all that stupid shit, I'm gonna tell you something, man. Them girls, the pattern is this, man. They find the guy that's on the stupid shit, right? He into the stupid life, doing dope, all that shit. He either gets locked up or killed, and she goes to the next dude who doing the same shit.
Yep.
It's the same
Sucker
I
boy
way.
in a
know.
And
minute.
then
I
when
I know. But they think them as a dumb nigga, they are the next dude.
Yeah.
Once she lose her
Yo,
job, they are the next dude. They don't even
yep.
realize that this woman just gonna fuck with somebody else who just slightly got their shit more together than dumb niggas. And they don't
Yep.
fucking get that the more you fucking wait and put yourself on hold for women that you shouldn't be fucking with, you lose value. But dumb niggas don't care about
bad
losing
deal.
value. Dumb niggas
Yeah,
don't have values. Period. They don't.
that's a bad
You have to
deal.
realize that these guys, and they are so high in number. It is nearly 98% of the fucking black male cosmos at this point.
Yeah,
And let me say
yo, my
this.
friend.
Let me say this. Let me say this. And this is on the Father Day.
Overstock dot dumb nigga dot dumb nigga.
Yep.
We have too many.
Let me say
Too
this too
many
on the
dumb niggas
Father
are
piece.
here.
Let me say this on the Father piece because this is one of the problems that I had when I was coming up is that there was a lot of dudes who did have their fathers in their homes. I didn't have my father in my home. I never hid that. I am not lying. I'm not ashamed of it because I didn't make myself. That's between my dad and my mom. It is what it is. But there was a lot of dudes that had fathers in their home. A lot of them, brother. I'm serious. And them
No, I
dudes
know.
they used to end up following me. And I used to be
Yeah.
like, damn, y'all got fathers and shit. And they would end up following me. And I
Why?
didn't understand the dynamic because I was like,
They
well, you're
seen
kind of around.
they seen your access to bitches, and they was like, "Hey man, fuck all this,
Yep.
man. My family having their shit together. Fuck all this. I want the
Yeah.
hoes that you fucking."
Yep.
That's what this is when you talking to, and, and you're talking about a whole long line of dumb nigga DNA that has been created that actually looked at your circumstances and rubbed their
Exactly.
hands like fucking Birdman and was like, you know what? Rather than get my shit together, I'd rather be a dumb nigga and stay here and just
Yeah,
wait for my
there
motherfucking
there was
turn.
a dude. Yeah, there was a dude I know. He came from a well-to-do family in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying, came from they lived in condominiums, like well-to-do. Yeah, he became a Crip because the hood he from, the projects surrounded by his Crips. So I'm like, yeah, like that perfect example of what y'all was talking about. Yeah, yeah, even Tony Yayo, 50 Cent, right hand man, dude came from two family home. Look weird. He ended up selling drugs with 50. You know what I'm saying?
Ice Cube
I,
came from a two-family household, and look what the
Yep,
fuck he ended up
Suge,
doing with his
like
life. Eh, Suge Knight
Suge,
went to college, played ball in college, and look at the shit that he ended up doing. So at
yep,
the end of the
Jada
day,
Kidd came from.
yeah. So it's like these people clearly had better fucking examples. They just chose being a dumb nigga as the way that they wanted to do things. And I'm like, look, dumb niggas want to be relevant, and
Yep,
these
Dame
people in the
Dash.
manosphere want to motherfucking make dumb niggas feel special again. That's what this whole shit's about. Make dumb niggas feel special again. Like shit. That's what they want. They want to create a new generation of lost fucking men, and they see the fact that people are getting their shit together as a fucking failure.
so the father aspect of them trying to be fathers in a community that's constructive and raising young men to be able to make better decisions to
They're
avoid
not trying to
women.
create that. They're not trying to create that.
They don't want that. They want to raise men who are that's where I'm kind of lost on because it's like you're trying to
Helpless,
raise men.
codependent, wearing fucking skinny jeans, looking at Pop the
Yep,
Balloon show and all this kind of crazy shit to cope with the fact that they can't get a bitch. That's what
yep.
and the wrong type of bitch at that.
Exactly. Like you said, MOT, and I forgot what you yeah, the broken woman, but I forgot what you said. I was listening to one of your old streams. You said something about the, cause I noticed that because you know the dudes that come with Papa Balloon, them dudes, yeah, you got a few gambling, you dumb niggas, but you got a lot of dudes that's successful, that own trucking, that's IT. And chicks just dismiss them and all that stuff because how they dress. But it goes back to what you said, the wrong type of women. And the funny thing about it, I didn't know homegirl she was a Christian, like the host, and I think they jerked her on Netflix. Once they went to Netflix, that's over. So you see what I'm saying? And it goes back. This is what MOT talking about because it's like it's sucker shit now. Yeah, because even yeah, you got women talking about if a dude comes from a family, good family household where he takes care of his kids, that's a red flag. I'm like, what? Yeah, it's bizarre land, but then and then, but it goes back to what you were saying. You gotta look at, because even my friend, I be showing my friend these videos, especially with Angry Man. He's like, "Yo, those women are not the normal women I see." Yeah, because my friend, he has a degree, but he dates the wrong women. He date all the women on his job. I told you, yo, stop dealing with women on your job. You got plenty of women outside. Why you don't deal with your job? He's like, "Oh, I got it." Yeah, it goes back to MOT said, "Oh, I got an inferiority complex." I'm like, you brag about your degree, but you dating these. Number one, you dating these women that's single mothers, or you dating these chicks that's broken. You know what I'm saying? He
Leave
dated a
these
security guard.
motherfuckers,
Like,
man. Leave these motherfuckers the fuck outside, man. Fuck the bullshit. Leave the
yeah,
motherfuckers
I'm
the
gonna
no,
be,
fuck
I'm gonna be,
outside.
look,
Let them fucking
I'm gonna be
serve.
real with you guys, man. In terms of me coming up being a, I guess you can say former or still is Pookie. I'm not doing the stupid shit no more. I got my shit together. But I'm gonna be real with you, man. You know, I always looked at that. I don't know. I know MOT. You from Mississippi. I don't know what your homeboy from, but I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. And down south, there used to be something. I don't know if it still is, but when I was coming up, if you was considered a bastard, you remember that word
Oh
bastard?
yeah.
That's
Oh yeah, man.
that's a child born out of wedlock. If you was the bastard in my neighborhood, because I come from an all black town, you was the pariah. You was the black eye. You was not
yeah, I
supposed
heard
to
that's
be.
the South. That's a big thing in the South, all throughout the South. You're right.
That's in the
Not to cut you
south.
off, brother,
Now
but you're right though.
I
But in
used
New
to
York,
go.
like,
Yeah, when I
go
used
ahead.
to
I'm
go
sorry.
around, man, and I used to go around, me and my brothers, because all of us was bastards. Yeah, I come from that, man. I come from all that shit, single mother, all that shit.
These dudes
And
desire to create more. You have no idea.
Yeah,
These dudes desire to
yeah, because
create
I came
more.
from a two-family household, and they looked at me weird. I'm like, and because dudes like, yeah, yeah, man, I know how it feels when I have no father. I'm like, I grew up with my father. Them niggas shut, niggas
well,
got
I
quiet. I'm
got
like,
the opposite treatment. Now I got the treatment of, since I didn't have a father, everybody used to look at me weird. That's what I'm saying. I used to get the look like, well, where's your father at? Why you don't
Yeah,
have a
yeah,
father? I used to get
yeah,
that. See what I'm
yeah. But
saying?
these dudes are
So,
like, you know what? I want to create more of that. That's what dumb
yep,
niggas want to do.
but I
They're
ain't
like,
got
look,
time for that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But the stuff you went through as a circumstance, they're looking at it as an end goal to where they want to be.
right,
Well, so I'm gonna end it on this one, and I'm not gonna take up too much more of your time. My
Yeah.
question is what is the path going forward with the black manosphere? Because it seems
No,
like
no, 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 no,
they're
no.
driving
Like
guys into
there is
this.
no more black
this
manosphere. There is no more black manosphere. This loose ragtag group of people who became the black manosphere has split off into people who want progress and people who clearly fucking don't. There
yeah,
is no black manosphere. Okay? There's nothing but entertainers who want to keep up whole shit, fuck shit, and SBE stupidity and fucking glad handed stupid motherfuckers who just want to be around relationship content, no matter
Fresh
how you look
CEO,
at it.
Coach
Yeah,
Greg Adams.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Coach
so
Greg Adams and
fatherhood,
fucking yeah.
fatherhood for them, when they speak of black fatherhood and they're promoting black fatherhood, and they're speaking in terms of guiding black men into being fathers
No,
for
no,
these
no, no, no,
for these dysfunctional women. Is that
no,
what you're saying? Like, that's the goal,
no, no,
meaning
no, no, no.
or not
Like
being a
their
father?
goal,
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
no, no, no. Like these dudes' goal is already being with dysfunctional women. It has nothing to do with the manosphere. These dudes think that give me the bitch first, get dick wet, then I get shit together. That's the
Yeah,
programming that's going on with dumb niggas. It's like, look,
wash, rinse,
give me
repeat.
Keisha first, let me have my way with her, and after that, then I'm gonna get my shit together.
That
Afterwards,
ain't gonna work.
but you have to get, yeah, 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 yeah. But you gotta give me the bitch first, though. You gotta give me the bitch first, in order for me to have my fun, and then after I have my fun, I could be able to get my shit together.
They're not
So
gonna
that's
want that though. They don't want that. I don't know. I don't know if y'all, but
bullshit. These
they don't
niggas'
want
lives
that.
are set up on that shit. It's set up on it.
No, I'm
Yeah,
talking
Angry
about
Man
the
talk
women.
that, and the data coaches talk that too. Get the woman first, then you make the moves.
Hold on. Let me clear something up. What I'm saying is this: the kind of women that I used to run the street with. I'm telling y'all right now, if I can tell you anything, the truth.
No,
The
no, no,
kind
no,
of
no.
women I
We
used to
know
run the
they're
street
of no quality, low quality. We get it. But what you
right. They
don't
don't
get
want me.
is that a lot of these
Right.
do like yes, the woman who wanted that type of situation. This is what I mean by a flood of bitch nigga attention. A flood of bitch nigga attention will fuck up any woman. Period.
Yep, yep.
Having have having so much attention to the point to where you can't even think straight without fucking dodging 1,000 dicks on your way to the fucking bus stop or bathroom or anywhere else
Yeah.
will fuck up any woman, any group of women. Like I give you an example: women that you meet in the Philippines versus Filipino women that you see here. Filipino women, once they fucking make it here, they know that they're so fucking sought after to the point to where you can't even get to them. And that's what you have to understand. We're worried about men who are not worried about themselves. There's nothing to
I'm glad
worry
you brought
about.
this up because that's another option. So we got the Mad Bus Driver solution. We talked about that, choosing different women here in America or anywhere. But we also got this piece with the passport bros. And I keep seeing guys saying, go passport bros, but
No,
they're
no,
going
no,
to
no, 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 no. Let me correct you on that.
let me
That
finish. Let me
got
finish. They
okay.
saying go passport bros with the position, and I'm not saying they are doing it, but it seems like they're saying go passport bros to make the other women want them. Meaning they're not
Yeah,
Yeah.
really going
Yeah.
passport to get a woman. They're saying, well, look, I'm gonna go passport now. Are you gonna come now? I'm gonna go passport now. Are you gonna act right now? I'm gonna go passport now. I'm a millennial.
Guardianship.
I'm a millennial. I don't know what it is, and I'm not saying it's not in the millennial generation, but brother, we've been off that shit since really the mid '90s. We stopped fooling with hood rats and stuff a long time ago. This is
but
I was
these
passport
dudes
right
want
in
to deal with
before
those
that
type of
stuff.
women.
Yeah, yeah. They want the weed wearing chicks. I see. Yeah,
But the
but now,
passport, bro, is not an option. And this is what gets me with this shit because when we talk about a lot of the passport bros, and shout out to all of them, they really are stand up, stand down dudes. They really want to be constructive fathers and be in their children's lives. A lot of them. Yeah, you got some out there that's, doing it for
I mean,
sex and
but
all that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
But
but that's
these
cool.
guys,
It's just that whatever you do, you have to keep it offline. And the
yeah.
people who you actually see are the people who's doing it wrong. The people who's doing it right, there's no shadow, there's no highlighting of what the fuck they're doing. It's always the people who's doing the shit wrong is what it is. And so what
Austin
I'm saying is,
Holloman.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's like no matter what it is that you see is legitimate, you're gonna have a bunch of unscrupulous, dumbass niggas who's gonna fuck it up. Like the Black Manosphere was just fine until Kevin Samuels got famous, and then
Then
LAR
go.
movement and fucking O'Shea and fucking Minister Jap, all these niggas mortgage their fucking credibility to go stand over there, right? At the end of the day, the place was fine until people tried to live off the fucking red pill, bro. They wanted to live off
MTR.
these sexless, stupid. Yeah, especially him. If he's that popular, how come he's not on tour? I guarantee there won't be 500 motherfuckers that'll show up in any big ass city. It's nothing but data manipulation, which is fine.
well, the
But you have to.
passport thing for that, for particularly for the passport thing, I'm saying if they're thinking that they're going to go passport to make
No, no,
the
no.
women in America
They're
jealous,
getting a
or
passport. No, no, no. They're getting a passport to wave it in the face of women and be like, you know what? I'm about to leave.
yes,
I'm
yes, that's
about
what
to
I'm saying. Yeah,
leave.
that's what
You
I'm saying.
better
Nah, nah,
fucking
nah,
come
nah.
get me before I
Yeah,
step on this plane
that's
and
what
go
I'm
get me
saying.
another
Exactly.
woman.
That's
That's
what
what
I'm
these
saying.
dumb niggas are on.
But that ain't gonna work. That's not. I'm simply saying is that if we're telling men to get themselves together and to get constructive and become fathers, I don't want black men becoming constructive and becoming fathers for women who don't want that. I'm telling y'all, those
No, no, no,
women
no,
don't.
no. But those dudes want to be in that circumstance. You're missing the point. It's the same point I've been making all night. These dudes actually want to be in that circumstance.
Okay, well, I mean, damn,
They
I'm,
want to
I'm,
be
I'm not
there.
gonna lie.
They
I'm
they
gonna have
they
to
they want
marinate
to
on
be. No, no,
that.
no.
Yeah.
They want to be the dude on the couch from Half Baked. That's their fucking end goal. That's where they're at right now. They already ain't got that shit together. They always just fucking laying around on some nigga's couch, waiting to be knighted by a fucking woman of fucking some sort. They
Like
they
Jody from Baby
literally
Boy.
correct. Correct, correct. They literally think that there is some pussy at the end of the fucking rainbow by being a nigga without his shit together. They literally think your circumstances that you were in is at the end of the rainbow for them not having their shit together. And listening to these dumbass niggas online, keeping their ass fucking comfortable and complacent is the actual point of what the fuck they're doing. They literally think I'm already ain't shit. The bitches should be all over me. Where
Oh,
are
okay.
my bitches?
I
My
got you.
bitches are not here.
I
I'm
got you.
already not shit. That's what these
Okay.
dumb
Okay.
niggas think.
I,
Yeah,
okay. Okay.
yeah.
I see. I didn't. Okay. So you're saying that they might have their shit together and they didn't get the girl. And if they don't have their shit together, they still not getting the girl. That's what you're saying, basically. They're mad because they're not getting the girl,
Yes,
even
yes,
though they
yes.
don't have their shit together. And if
Niggas
they
are looking
do,
around like Mr. Magoo. It's like, where's my fucking bitches? I'm already not shit. I have no aspirations to do anything. I'm a runnable nigga. Where are my fucking hoes at? I am so willing to be pussy whipped. Where the fuck are my bitches? Where are my
I'll
bitches?
say this. I think this
Where are my
conversation
hoes?
is constructed today for fathers. If men who want to be fathers and be constructive fathers, I think now we do have clarity that if you're
Yes,
going to be a constructive father, you should be building with women who want constructive fathers. In my
correct.
opinion, and this is my opinion, if I had to use a percentage, and this is my opinion, I'll stand by it. 95% of black women in America, black American women, ADOS, FBA, whatever you want to call them, right? They don't want constructive black fathers. I'll put my
Which
hand on
is
the Bible on
which
that.
is great. Which is
And that's
great.
fine. And that's fine. I don't hate them for it. I don't. And now the other 5% that's left over, they might want a constructive father, but the problem is
But
that
here's
that
no, no, no,
95%
no, no, no,
be
no, no,
working on it.
no.
Working
Okay,
on
okay,
every
okay.
day. You
Okay,
see
let's
what I'm
give a
saying?
special public announcement for the 5% of women out there. You bitches need a hotline and a fucking website. Okay? You motherfuckers need to get on that shit. You niggas need a bat signal in the fucking sky or something. Because you motherfuckers are being skipped the fuck over and everybody else think that you one of these other motherfuckers and I'm just telling you. These dumb niggas want to be in the circumstance that's already here. They
Well,
want they
in my opinion, they don't want. In my opinion, the 95% of black women, they don't want constructive black men. They don't want a
that's
father,
fine. That's
and that's
fine.
fine. That's their choice.
Th-
I don't hate them for it. I don't have nothing against them. I understand that, and I had
yeah,
to
me
accept
neither.
a long time ago. That's why I don't hate black women. I actually, smile at them. I wish them all the best. I really do. I don't want no harm on anybody, but they're
Where the
just not
fuck is the goodblackbitch.com website? Like, you got so many motherfuckers who's waiting on hold right
well,
now.
wait a minute. Wait a
Niggas are
minute.
waiting on hold right now.
My
Goodblackbitch.com. Where's the fucking website?
well,
Where is it?
my position is this: is that the group is toxic. It is what it is. The group is toxic. It's too many of them, and
I
if you
know.
are able to find this mythological 5%, in my opinion, I've seen it. I have seen it. I have seen the mythological 5% get worn down by the 95% because they're gonna always be in here saying, "You don't need a man. He ain't shit. Get rid
Man,
of
fuck
him. You
all
don't
that.
need a
These,
father."
these, these bitches need like a decommissioned military base. Goodblackbitch.gov. Like
Well,
man, bro. At the end of the fucking day, they are fucking outnumbered by these motherfuckers who want to
they
fuck
are.
niggas
They are. They
lives up,
are. They
and a lot of these dudes want to be with the 95% bitch. They
And
do.
you know what? Let me say this. That's fine. If they want the 95% of women that's on that bullshit, if they want those kind of women and that's what they want to do, that's their choice. But I think it needs to
It
be clear.
is. It
If they
is.
We're clearing that up today. That if you are a black man and you want
Yes.
to be a father, a constructive father, coming from
Yes.
me, I'm the first one. I can only speak for myself. I would highly recommend that you don't build with this 95% that don't want constructive black father.
But at
They
the
might
end of the
want
day,
sperm. They might want your sperm. No doubt about that. But they don't want you to be a father. They don't want you to be a father. They want you to make another out for the first one, but that one ain't gonna make it. I made it out. There's a lot of them like me that didn't make it. They want you to make another A11 that most likely will not make it. So I'm telling every black man out there, you can put this as a short, you can spread it across the internet, and I challenge any of those women to this. I got the bullet hole in my leg to prove it how I got out the game. Okay. If you're looking to build a constructive life with a black woman in America, do not do it with the 95%, as they call themselves, the 92%. Don't do it. They don't want constructive black fathers. I'm saying this on Father's Day. They don't want that. I know. I come from that situation. I'm telling you, they don't want that. They want you to be either going to prison, they want you to get shot like I did and die, or they want you to be on the street with a sign saying "Feed me." That's the only thing I want to clear up today. If they want to do that, that's their choice. This message for the black men who don't want those kind of women who want a constructive family. That's all I got to say, MOT. I'm done.
Why do you think there's only 26 people in here who wants to hear that message? Where do you think the rest of these motherfuckers are at?
Well, put it on the short and spread it. Put it on TikTok. Do something, because I don't. The thing I'm saying, I don't want no more black men saying. I'm tired of hearing them saying they don't want black fathers. They don't want this. Well, you keep dealing with it. I'm telling you, they don't. These, and that's their right. Let me say that. That is the 92% right. That is their right to want those kind of men. They have every right to do that. I'm not trying to change it. I'm not even shaming them for it. That's their right. That's their preference. I'm telling black men who want to have a constructive life, who don't want to end up in prison,
Mm-hmm.
who don't want to end up with a bullet hole in their leg like me.
Yeah,
Okay, and then when it rain, my leg killing me. All right, your bones hurt when it
yeah,
rain. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to
yeah,
live that life and know some of your homeboys still sitting in prison. Shout out to Hopgood, he doing life. That's a homeboy I grew up with. All right, if
yeah.
you don't want to live that life, stay away from these women, because most likely if you drop your seed in her matrix, shout out to Mad Bus Driver, you drop that seed in that matrix, the odds are you're gonna create another Alpha the first one, and he not gonna make it. He
Dumb
not
niggas are
gonna.
not. Dumb niggas are not trying to hear what you just said. Dumb niggas
Well,
are
I
not
wanted to
reasonable.
clear that up, MOT. I wanted to clear that up
Okay.
because it seems like on Father's Day, it seems like you're pushing a message that I could get behind, meaning get your shit together so you could be a constructive father with a constructive woman and have a constructive family and a constructive community. I
Yeah,
support
but they
that.
don't want that. Want that. Like dumb niggas don't want a functional household. Dumb niggas want a dysfunctional bitch. Even for the temporary, dumb niggas want to create, the same circumstances over and over again. That's
Right, and
what
they
dumb
can do
niggas
that.
want.
They can do that via choosing American women that's here, that's not a part of the 92%,
No,
or
no,
they
no,
can
no,
get
no.
a
But you have to
passport and stay
understand that
overseas.
by flooding these women with options, they get the outcomes that they fucking deserve. At the end of the day, we need more women rationing the pussy. More, not less. We need more women rationing the pussy to make sure that we can point these dumb niggas out whenever we see them. Okay?
Okay. You're saying, so basically
Yes.
you're saying you want to take like
Yes.
a military approach, which is basically
Yes.
you want to weed them out, like the military do. They
Yes.
weed.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Everybody don't make it through boot camp. They weed you out. Some people don't
I
make it through
know.
boot.
Can't
Got it.
duck walk in fucking MEPS. Don't even fucking worry about it. You ain't gonna be
Exactly.
on
You can't do
nobody's fucking
it.
battlefield.
I got you. I got you. I like, no, you know what? I can support that approach. I like that approach, MOT. That's a message. I like that military.
That's right.
Everybody is not
That's
supposed
right.
to. My boy Pratt, I went to boot camp. My boy Pratt had asthma. He couldn't run. Dude was a cool dude, but he couldn't run. He just couldn't run.
That's
And
right.
they
There's
and they
plenty
made
of
him release.
niggas, embarrassing niggas that I got smoked over who could do sit ups, who could
Yes,
do push ups,
yes,
who
I
could do
got
a
you.
bunch of shit.
Yes, I got you. And that's how it is in the military. You notice the further you go up, the more they weed you out. I went to
Yes, yeah,
airborne,
you.
they weed people out. You go SF or you go Ranger, they weed people out. You go
Yeah,
pararescue, they weed people out. So
yeah,
I'm with
yeah.
you. I'm with you on that. I just wanted to clear that up on Father's Day, man, because I like the message you're pushing as far as constructive men becoming
And
constructive.
my message is the original manosphere message. I have not went off message. These people
Wow.
decided to live off the fucking manosphere. What they
Woo!
decided is they seen a bunch of dumb niggas over there, and they decided, you know
Wow.
what? I can fucking make a living off of these dumbass niggas as long as they're connected to the worst outcomes.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it is.
I have went back and I did look through the Black Brain Trust. I did look through that. Shout out to that brother Complex Design. I have went back and I've listened to some of those old tapings that they do still have up, and I've looked at it. And you guys were talking about some good stuff. I will give y'all that. I went
And
back.
guess
I
how many people watch that? Not many.
not
You
barely.
want to know why?
You're right. You're
Because
right.
because the dumb nigga programming, like the dumb nigga network, the 24 hours of BGS and fucking all these other dumb niggas took priority over people getting their shit together. And I don't fault people for that. I'm just telling people not to waste their time on dumb niggas whenever you do get your shit together. You should have no spots for dumb niggas, no
Well,
sympathy for dumb niggas. You
if
should
they if
never
they're
have
going
any
to
of that.
become right, if they're going to choose to become uh, constructive or non-constructive black fathers, so they can deal with clearly non-constructive black women, that's their choice. I just wanted to clear that up because we don't need to be wasting no more time talking about which one is pushing a constructive message and which one isn't. In my opinion, I'm seeing a whole bunch of them pushing a message that's centered on dealing with non-constructive women. That's all it's
Correct.
or
That's
trying
what
to
they
make
always wanted. That's what they
or
always
trying to
wanted.
make non-constructive women jealous. Like, I got a passport
Yes.
now. Are you gonna try to come get me now? No,
All
I'm
right, fellas,
not
I'm gonna
pushing
step
it. I
down, listen
support.
on the background. Yo, yeah, I'm still
Uh,
be listening. I'm just gonna step down. Peace, y'all.
all right, cool, man. All right. All right.
Thank you for
I'm
having me
just
up,
saying.
MOT.
All right,
Hey,
later.
peace out, brother. Shout out to you. I'm just saying, I don't want. I support Passport, bro, and I support SYSBM because it's giving brothers a map to be a constructive father with a constructive family in a new constructive community. They're pushing a message of getting a passport and dealing with other
And
women so they
waving
can
it
make
in a woman's face.
right.
That's what
Waving in
they're
there. I
pushing.
don't support that at all. If you want to do that, if they want to deal with Sexy Red and what's that chick name? The
Megan
Harris chick,
Stallion.
Diana Ross. That chick, the Diana Ross daughter, her and all the rest of them. That's
Oh
their
shit! I
choice. If
didn't
they
even know
want to,
Diana Ross had a daughter.
yeah, it's the one who said that the men don't want her. She's like 50 something. The men don't want her, so she dating the young guys. Nothing new. If y'all want those kind of Lisa Ray, y'all 50 Cent old girl, Vivica Fox. That's the
Damn, she
so-called
was so
educated.
fine. God damn,
That's their
Vivica Fox was
business,
fine back
right?
in the day.
If they want those kind of women, that's their right. That's their choice. If they want that, I
Look,
tell them 100% go for it. But I'm telling men, if you want a constructive life, if you want to put your efforts towards something that's gonna last, I support the message you're saying. Now I disagree with you on politics, and we'll get into that. I disagree with you on some politics things, but I support your message. If that is, you said that's the original message. You said that is the original message of the Black
it was.
Manosphere.
It
It was.
was.
I support that. I wish that that could be the new message of today. Maybe this conversation may bring that message back today. I hope it do. But if it don't, I recommend every brother listen to what you're saying because I think they will come out in a better position. If they don't, they can go chase Lisa Ray, Meg Thee Stallion, and have a ball. Fair enough. On
Yes.
Father's Day, we settled it, right?
Yes.
Outstanding. All right, MOT, I got to get out of here, man, because I got to go see the
All right,
dentist
cool.
tomorrow. Unfortunately, okay. So
Yeah.
you
All right.
say next Sunday, if God willing, we'll
Next
have the
Sunday.
immigration debate.
Yeah. So.
Excellent. We have the immigration debate. Tell all of them to go on, all of them come up, Mr. T. I want to hear from everybody because this is going to be a good debate, and I'm confident that we can find some middle ground on that.
Yeah. But the Negroes of unlimited ignorance are not listening to reason. If you look at the screen, there is a black man with his hands up like he don't care with cornrows in a burnt down fucking community, and this is what the fuck he wants. He's okay with that shit. Unlimited ignorance. This dude likes the things the way that it is. Trust me. End of the day, this Father's Day, these dudes are not trying to be fathers. They're trying to be seed providers to the type of women that don't need them. So with that said, thank you guys for coming through. I'm the man. You guys have a really nice rest of y'all night. Peace.